this is something very important. Rav Sharkey was in the news even today, but I mean this week. But I wrote this up before. He'd gotten himself a little more attention than usual. He was talking about the idea that uh, they're going to bring some of these so-called terrorists. They're just murderers. Some Nazis are going to be put on trial. Heard about that?
No.
They're being put into the criminal justice system. So people have been complaining and saying, look, they're not going to be able to, if you bring the ones who were caught on Simchas Torah, caught alive, and you're going to try them, attempt to try them in a court of law for murder and rape, and let's say, you're not going to have any actual evidence of what they did. You're not going to have two witnesses that this man pulled the trigger and killed someone. Remember, in a criminal case, especially in Israel, for at least the bad guys, the standard of the standard of proof is very high if you want to convict, unless the guy has a yarmulke and payas, in which case you could throw him in jail for whatever, just for anything. You could just sign a piece of paper and he's in jail forever, or you could torture him to death until he says, "Yeah, whatever, I did it," and then they'll throw you in jail also. But if you're a murderer of Jews and you're a professed murderer of Jews, then they'll hire you a bunch of lawyers and they'll put you in a hotel for months at a time, and with food and hot showers and everything, and they'll then acquit you of murder or whatever else you did because they don't have any actual proof. Like I said, there's no witnesses. They can't say that this one guy, even though he has an AK-47, he was caught, in combat. He was shooting at our soldiers. They can't actually prove he committed murder. So they're going to eventually let him go, or they're going to maybe somehow convict or just hold on to him until they're ready to let him go anyways. This happens. So there are people complaining about this, and Rav Sharkey pointed out something that many people have forgotten, and that is criminals are brought to court. Criminals, and in Jewish law, are varyonim. People commit ritual sins, both among Jews and Gentiles. That's in time of peace. So you have someone who, I don't know, did something wrong, stole, kidnapped, worshipped idols, whatever it is. Chas v'sholom, even murdered. So the witnesses bring him to court, and the court tries him, and then the court punishes him accordingly. That's in peacetime. When you have warring nations, especially Amalekites making war with the Jewish people, they're not supposed to be tried, each one, if let's say one is captured. Yeah, you're just supposed to shoot them. In war, there are no criminals, only the enemy who needs to be destroyed.
There was that Amalekite kid who said, "Oh yeah, Shaul done." He didn't even do anything. David just still killed him.
Yeah, well, David Melech was
He
was a king, but he was a king. King is the right to do some summary executions in these cases. Talking about this, so the point was that stress this: criminals are brought to court and tried. In wartime, there's no such thing as criminals. You just have to fight the enemy, and that's been forgotten. Just like he said last time, this whole idea of pidyon shvuyim is for when Jews are in other countries and they see a slave ship show up with other Jews on it, and you have to rescue them because something happened far on the other side of the Roman world. So you're trying to rescue them from being sold to slavery. But when you're actually in a hot war against the Romans and the Greeks in the land of Israel, you don't start negotiating for their prisoners. You have to defeat them. Just like he gave that example in a previous war against the Amalekites.
It wasn't wartime. You're not allowed to do pidyon shvuyim if you know you're just going to keep doing it.
Yes, and that's another point.
We know that anyway.
I know, but he was trying to say that the concept of pidyon shvuyim is not even relevant for war. So too, the concept of criminal trials is not relevant for wartime. But then he wrote this letter, open letter, and he read it out loud in a YouTube video, but I don't know why he wrote it in Hebrew, to Muslim religious figures. Basically telling them, don't you know that Islam believes in that and Judaism is that? So why are you giving us a hard time? And, he's basically lecturing Muslims about Muslims. I wonder, has anybody actually paid attention to him or reacted to him? Anybody Muslim?
Why would they?
I don't know. I don't know why he would write such a thing. I don't know who's actually caring about what he wrote. Okay. Having a French Jewish Israeli rabbi who happens to know, he knows a lot more about this than I do, by the way. He knows Arabic and he knows quite a lot. But I still think that I don't get it. What's the point?
It's not like I listen to famous imams.
Yeah,
like they're probably more famous than most.
Yeah, I don't know. Has
Muslims.
has any Muslim religious figure actually seriously tried to appeal to us and try to reason with us? If you try to say, look, I know you think you know your Judaism, but you should just know X, Y, and Z. I think Christians and Muslims have been trying to do that to us for thousands of years. No, sorry, almost, yeah, basically thousands of years. Have we listened to them? Are we supposed to listen to them?
I mean, there was that Muslim governor of Jerusalem back before Hakamat Medina. He was like, "Oh yeah, Israel belongs to the Jews." And stuff.
Okay, good. Now look, if they say the right thing, that's great. And if they want to if they want to repent, do tshuva, as they say.
I forget why he sent that. He sent a letter. He was to.
Well, my point is, I don't know what he was writing or why he did it. If there's anything will come of it, I'd be surprised. But I'd really like if anybody has any evidence of anybody paying attention to what he said and reacting to it in any way, positively or constructively, that I'd be quite surprised. I wish you could show it to me.
I just
But
feel like it's kind of hard to try and make not religious discourse, try to explain to somebody why their religion is wrong
or why their
in the middle of when they're
interpretation,
doing religious war against you.
yeah, or why their interpretation of their religion is wrong. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.